What's up, everyone? I'm GKB from Gamers Knows Best. I'm joined today by SheWulf.
Hey guys, what's up?
This is another Indi-Scussion where we'll be talking about Rise and Shine. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Rise and Shine is developed by super awesome hyperdimensional mega team, holy crap what a mouthful, and published by Adult Swim. This is what they have to say about their game. Rise and Shine is a true think-and-gun that combines elements of arcade shooters, bullet hells, and puzzle platformers to create a new blend of strategy and viscera, switch between Shine's add-ons to solve puzzles, and redefines what bullets can do. Guide projectiles through intricate mazes, electrifying damage equipment to discover new pathways, and juggle 8-bit fruit because why not? This is not another run-and-gun clone at all. This is something different and fresh. This was reviewed on the Xbox One, and because the FCC is awesome, full disclosure, the developers, super awesome hyperdimensional mega team, sent us a review copy of the game. All right, like we do with all of our reviews and impressions, we're gonna go ahead and start with the graphics. I gotta say, I thought the graphics were actually really cool. So some of the research we found is each level is composed of hand-drawn illustrations, and that's freaking crazy. They use multiple parallax scroll layers, so it feels like a 3D environment in a 2D plane. Like they have one layer in front of the other or behind it, so it gives the feel of 3D, but it's really in 2D. What did you think of the world so far?
I thought it was neat. It's almost like a kid's coloring book, the way that it looks. And I love the fact that they bring so many colors in together without actually making them clash, where it looks like it's just a ball of paint thrown together. And I love like how you see, like you said, the background, they make it look like it's 3D, but really it's just a 2D platformer, and I find that really makes things look amazing. And the lighting effects that they did, where you saw like lasers in the back, and there's so much going on, but it doesn't look overcluttered.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a beautifully crafted game too, and you can really tell like the devs loved what they were doing for this game. As we were playing through the game, I don't know if you saw or picked up on a lot of the Easter eggs, but you get to see like a lot of icons throughout gaming throughout the years. Like Nintendo is really prevalent in this game. They call them different names and all that kind of stuff, but you can tell that they like
There's
Zelda,
the characters.
yeah, Mario, and all those kind of characters in there. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the effects were really awesome, like the fire, the electricity, all the weapons and the bullets and everything. They just looked fantastic and played really well.
Even the destructed buildings that you see behind you, you can tell they're buildings, you can tell what the things are, but at the same time, you can tell this world was destroyed, and he has to go through this kind of thing. And even him himself, he has a lot of detail to, even though he's a little tiny character, with his jacket, with his gunpowder that he has, his backpack, his face, and just everything about him gives him character, which is great as well.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on too, because I think this is important for some people, because some people might not like this. It's a very gory game.
Mm-hmm.
When you kill characters and stuff, they pretty much explode into a bunch of graphic pieces, like brains, all kinds of stuff all over the place. So be fair warned.
He gets his head cut off, and you see the blood actually.
Yeah. It's kind of funny too, like when characters die or enemies and stuff, their like little souls go flying up into the air and stuff, and you can actually shoot them as well. So it's a pretty funny game. That's really about it on the graphics. I think overall it's a fantastic looking game. Keeps you really immersed into what you're playing and doing. I did find myself actually stopping and just looking around after killing all the enemies to see like those Easter eggs and stuff we were talking about. So definitely a bunch of thumbs up on the graphics. All right, next let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. Like we stated earlier, it's a 2D puzzle platformer. I think it's more puzzle than it is really platformer, because it doesn't really, you're not really like jumping all over the place to like get through something or anything like that. I also thought the gun mechanics are great. You have your standard bullets, you have electric. As you go through the game, you also get upgrades where you get the control ability where you can control the bullets, and you don't just control like the standard bullet, you can control all of them, which is really cool. And then you also get the grenades, which is really neat too, because you're going to use them a lot towards the end of the game. So it does really cool things like you get upgrades as you go along. What is your general impressions of the gameplay?
Well, with the gameplay, I did find it took a little bit to get used to. Like, being someone who isn't big on these style of games, like, it is definitely a challenging game. It is by no means a simple run-through game. There is some challenge. And like you said, this is kind of more of a puzzle than a platform, because even when you have to use your bullets, you have to actually guide your bullets through different warps of things.
Yeah, to unlock like doors.
Yes, to unlock doors. So it's really more of, like you said, puzzle than it is platform because of that aspect. And you know, even when you're fighting the bosses and stuff like that, it's a lot more of a puzzle because you have to figure out how you're going to get through this and what you need to do that while doing something else at the same time. So.
Yeah, there's also a dash mechanic and a double jump in here. Honestly, I didn't find myself really using them that much. Like, you could get through most of the things just with a regular jump, but there are parts where you need a double jump, and that's kind of where the platforming comes in.
I used to double jump quite a bit.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, personally, but that's because I don't like anything coming near me, so
Yeah.
I do jump a lot. But
I just found myself really using the dash like towards the end or maybe the last boss, but other than that, you really didn't need it because you can pretty much move pretty quickly. So I didn't really have much use for it. So that's kind of a, you know, but the other stuff is really good. The enemies, because I want to talk about that a little bit. I thought they were really well done and also add a lot of challenge because they throw a lot of stuff at you sometimes in one go, like a bunch of enemies like shooting at you and you gotta like move around and keep moving and stuff. Like, how did you feel about the enemies? And
well, when it comes to the enemies, I think that's one of my biggest problems when it came to like the challenging part of it. You don't get to pick your difficulty, of course. So when you're playing a game like this, you are kind of stuck with whatever difficulty you're thrown at. And these bosses, the fact that they were constantly throwing things at you nonstop, you couldn't really take a break. If you didn't get it in the first try, you pretty much had to die and you have to restart it. And for me personally, as the type of gamer I am, that irritated me some, but it didn't irritate me enough to stop playing. So.
yeah, I could totally get that. I mean, I died a lot, but I like hard games. I didn't really mind it. Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It makes you learn the game for you to be good at it. So.
But the mechanics itself are still pretty straightforward. It's shoot, run, jump, avoid, kill.
Get through puzzles or a little bit of platforming. I want to talk about how much variety is in the gameplay too, because it's not just a 2D side scroller for the most part. Like, you start off as the kid, but then you get into like the ship part where you're shooting things all over the place and it's just on a rails kind of thing, which was nice to split up the gameplay of just the monotonous like 2D side scroller, just shooting things as you go. They also have like mini games towards the end, which I thought was cool. You get to this island, and you can play like these shooting games, where one's like shooting skeet as it's going across, kind of like Duck Hunt in a sense. And then they had like a basketball one where you had to use your grenades to get them through hoops and stuff. I thought that was kind of fun. They also have the last one was where you can use your control abilities and do things. So that was a good time. It broke up the monotony of just the standard gameplay. Moving on, I don't know how many bosses you got to fight because I know you haven't finished the game. But what did you think? Because I know you beat the first boss for sure. What did you think of like the boss battles in general? Because I thought they were actually some of the better mechanics where it actually forced you to use like all your abilities to get through some of the bosses.
Okay, so when it goes to the bosses, I do agree with you on that because, for instance, the first boss, just him alone, you actually have to switch pretty much between two different bullets to get him killed faster, but at the same time still trying to complete the puzzle that's within the game itself.
Yeah, like shooting a little electric.
Yeah, you have to pretty much attack the things that he's throwing at you, then you have to stop him from shooting a beam at you, but then you also have to use, which is where I'm saying the puzzle part comes in, you have to use your bullet and guide it to hit the button to stop him. Like, so
it's like the soft spot on his back, but you have to use like your other ones to hit. Because he has like this final like beam thing, and if you don't hit all the electrical pieces, it'll shoot you, and it's like an instant
You're
death.
dead.
There's no beating it or anything like that. So, go ahead.
So pretty much, it made it difficult but enjoyable at the same time. And like you said, you're using a lot of different mechanics at once, which makes you really think towards it. Again, it's a challenging game.
All right, so that's it for the gameplay. Like we said, it's challenging and fun, offers a lot of variety, definitely a good time. So let's go ahead and move on to the story. So the story is great. It's your typical boy who doesn't want to be a hero. He's thrown into that role. You are on Gamer Earth, where, like we said before, it pays homage to a lot of gaming icons throughout the years, and that's really cool. It's almost like a, I don't know, I had this, and I don't know if you had it, because I know you haven't finished the game, but as I was playing through, it's almost like a satire of gaming and almost like console war-y, where they're kind of making fun of it, where you know, the enemies come down and they look like Gears characters, like from Microsoft and stuff, you know, fighting against like Nintendo and PlayStation. So I just thought that was funny and kind of plays well to like Adult Swim and the developers, how they always make fun of a lot of things. So I thought that was unique and interesting. Like, what did you think about the story so far? I know you haven't finished the game.
No, I haven't finished the game, but you know, when it comes to the story, one, I do have to throw in, because kind of missing the graphic part, is the comic book aspect that they actually throw into telling the story. So, you know, you get these cutscenes where they're like a comic book that you actually get to read or, you know, listen to and so on. And I find that adds a great aspect to the story, because you're getting a little more detail about what's going on instead of just trying to run through the game and a dialogue comes up. So I do enjoy that part of it. And, you know, yeah, I haven't beat the game, but I do agree that there is aspects where they definitely make it point out that, hey, everybody's fighting, but hey, we're gonna just destroy everybody anyways.
Yeah, everybody pretty much gets wrecked in this game.
But like you said, that's Adult Swim, and they never disappoint when it comes to a story. For an indie game, this is definitely, you know, it's got an entertaining yet enjoyable story to it.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to go too much into the story, because I think it's one of those ones that you just need to experience and get the full thing and like how you feel about the game. The banter between Rise and Shine was actually pretty cool. I thought the comic book stuff, you know, in the cutscenes and stuff was really well done. It looks fantastic. I don't know. I think they could have pushed it further as far as like she was saying, like she liked the dialogue with like the comic book feel. But I thought they could have done some really cool stuff with like voice acting to push that, how I got like this console war kind of thing. Like if they could have added like the main general guy, if they could have added like a Marcus Phoenix type voice or something, I thought that would have been pretty funny and hilarious. I don't know how far they could have pushed it without, you know, Microsoft or Nintendo and anybody get freaking out about stuff, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Could have added voice acting to this game.
There's none at all.
No, there isn't. There is none of that. That's why, like, you'd have to obviously have like I guess it would all be reading. So it's, you know, a dialogue would have been cool to listen to.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and move on to our final thoughts of what we thought of Rise and Shine. Overall, I thought it was a fantastic game, a must-play, in my opinion. Just the graphics are fantastic. The story is great. Remember, you do have to read and stuff like that. The gameplay is also fantastic. So I got nothing but good things to say. I wish there was a little more voice acting and stuff like that, so you're not reading as much, but the comic book feel was really cool. Definitely has the governor's seal of approval. Definitely should add it to your game library at some point.
Okay, so my final thoughts are for this game. I do find it really challenging, and it is a game that I'm probably going to have to go back to a couple times over to play, but I do recommend it for anyone who does enjoy puzzle games and does like a challenge, and for the price of $14.99, I do think this game is a buy.
Well, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, we would really appreciate it if you consider hitting that like button. It really does help us out. If you had a chance to play, you know, Rise and Shine, let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Did you like the gameplay? Did you like the story? Do you agree or disagree with everything that we said? Let us know. Please share and subscribe. This is GKB and
SheWulf.
We will see you in the next one. And as always, take care of your fellow gamers.